one statement, ladies and gentlemen, that has been made by Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief. He said if sections of society face discrimination and suffered for 2,000 years, why can't we accept some trouble for 200 more years? With these words, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh chief, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, on Wednesday openly backed reservation for as long as discrimination exists in our society. That is what he said. Now, the statement by the RSS chief has been made in the run-up to the 2024 election, and it has important indications and also an impact on the narrative as we go forward. Let's first listen in to what Mr. Bhagwat said.
और हमने अपने ही समाज के बंधुओं को सामाजिक व्यवस्था के तहत पीछे रखा। उनका जीना पशु समान हो गया तो हमने चिंता नहीं की, और ऐसा कम से कम 2000 वर्ष चला ही है। धीरे धीरे उनको अपने बराबरी में लाने तक उनको कुछ विशेष उपाय करने पड़ेंगे। ऐसा वो आरक्षण लागू किया है। इसलिए जब तक वो भेदभाव है तब तक उसको चालू रहना चाहिए। संविधान सम्मत जितना आरक्षण है उसको हम संघ के लोग तो पूरा समर्थन देते हैं।
Now, the timing of this statement is also quite interesting, as it comes at the time when the opposition is trying to corner the Modi government with bringing in the conversation around the caste census, which is already being implemented in Bihar. The whole attempt of India Alliance is to counter the BJP's Hindutva pitch with their social justice call. Now, this also marks a big shift from the RSS chief's earlier stand on reservation. In September 2015, Mr. Bhagwat called for a review of the reservation policy. Let me just very quickly read out from what Mr. Bhagwat had said at that point of time. He said, form a committee of people genuinely concerned for the interest of the whole nation and committed to the social equality, including some representatives from the society. They should decide which categories require reservation and for how long. A non-political committee like autonomous commissions should be the implementation authority. Political authorities should supervise them for honesty and integrity. He also said, if we would have implemented this, in quotes, reservation policy as envisaged by the constitution makers instead of doing politics over it, the present situation would not have worsened. Since inception, it has been politicized. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, remember, the statement came just ahead of the Bihar Assembly elections in 2015, which at that time was being fought between Nitish Lalu combined versus the BJP under Prime Minister Modi. The opposition made a meal out of this statement, which put the BJP on the defensive. Many political watchers attributed this statement as one of the many reasons why the BJP was defeated right after huge mandate that Prime Minister Modi got in 2014 general elections. So is this course correction aimed at the upcoming elections, or and how is it going to impact the narrative from here on? Let me very quickly go across to Professor Badri Narayan. He's an expert on SC/ST issues. How does he view this entire, issue, and of course, the political impact of what Mr. Bhagwat had said at that point of time? Thank you so much, Badri Narayan ji, for joining us at this moment. Sir, I want to start by asking you, Mr. Bhagwat's statement. The RSS chief has made a significant comment on the need of the reservation and how people should be patient even if this continues for the next 200 years. Now, this comes at a time when we are hearing, conversations around two very relevant topics, one on religion, other on reservation. How do you put this entire statement by Mr. Bhagwat in context of the current churning, sir?
Yeah, Ankit, you're very right that in this time there are two kinds of discourses are going on. One is about religion, and another is about reservation. And putting religion and reservation as verses, in one way, Mohan Bhagwat is trying to dilute this space of creating versus between religion and reservation. Second thing is this, the argument on which many people are talking that now this is the time to scrap the reservation. And this argument by Mohan Bhagwat is trying to tell them that look, still there is a need of reservation. And you know, the entire discourse about in the US which are emerging about the scrapping the reservation of race-based and caste-based reservation in the US, that is also influencing the Indian discourses in one way or another way. That if this from where this kind of discourses started, they are going to scrap it. Why we are continuing? There's another argument is emerging among literary sections of Indian society. So in this context, I think, but you know, in one way, the party in the power, especially BJP, is also trying to show its sensitivity towards those who are being suffered even in the system of reservation. That they made this Roni Commission, the Social Justice Commission by the UP government, Rajnath Singh ji and Adityanath ji, because you know there are many invisibles even among backwards and STs. You know, in Uttar Pradesh we have 66 Dalit castes, and among whom only 4 or 5 castes got visibility.
Okay.
Most of them are invisible. People even don't know about them. So and Ambedkar, that's why Ambedkar once told that we are not paying back to our community, our brothers.
Yes.
He said about the Dalit middle class, which is emerging due to the democratic distribution of the power and resources.
Okay.
So in that way, I think that's another kind of sensitivity which BJP is showing to show both the argument, continuing reservation, but within the reservation, one should be very conscious about the right of those who are not getting equal space within the frame of the reservation. So on both level, BJP is trying, but RSS Chief statement is not about that at this time.
Right.
It's about just continuing the reservation.
Right. Let me now bring it down to the political impact and context of what Mr. Bhagwat has said, sir. If you remember in 2015, just before the Bihar election, Mr. Bhagwat gave a statement which later many pundits read as one of the major reasons for the BJP's defeat. What do you think has brought about this rethink, or some would call it the change of position of the RSS? Is it something to do with the opposition alliance talking about the caste census, which is already on in Bihar? Is there somewhere an attempt to answer the narrative that the opposition is constructing at this moment?
That's very true. That may be one of the reasons, because you know the effort of the opposition to put caste against Hindutva means the social justice against Hindutva, and that is they are trying to weave around this caste census discourse. And so this statement, in one way, give hints to them that look, that politics will not able to counter what we are doing. And to dilute those arguments, this argument of continuing the reservation by Mohan Bhagwat will give a big boost to the Hindutva discourse and BJP discourse too. So because most of the time opposition used to put the Mohan Bhagwat's statement about a review of the reservation that time which he gave during Bihar election. He gave or the way it was presented selectively or whatever, but it is being used by opposition always against the BJP to strengthen social justice politics against to build up social justice politics against the Hindutva politics. So or the politics of development which Narendra Modi is trying to weave. But you know, Ankit, there is another thing has emerged in two binary opposite kind of politics which opposition and want to build up. That there are a huge beneficiary community emerged in the policies of the BJP government, and most of them are Dalits, most marginal Dalit communities, and it is beyond caste, it is beyond community. So that's another kind of categories or a kind of is emerging in Indian politics, which is going to influence politics of mobilization of marginal communities, the Ati Pichhada, Dalits in a big way in coming elections.
Right. In the end, sir, before I let you go, I just want to ask you this. Now, in the run-up to the 2024 election, while the BJP is vehemently and loudly picking up on the Sanatan Dharma issue, which many in the opposition are pitching this as a fight against the caste order, can the BJP balance both Mandal and Kamandal in the upcoming elections, take a hard Hindutva stand, but with a pro-reservation pitch? Will they be able to balance both of them together?
The Sanatan Dharma issue and the reservation issues, both which are going to be put forward in the discourse by the Hindutva politics or the politics of the BJP, in one way by the Mohan Bhagwat reservation things, and the Sanatan Dharma politics by Sanatan politics by the BJP. Both are going to benefit BJP. See this statement of Udayanithi Stalin, the leader of the Tamil Nadu, is going to emerge as a big narrative in this coming elections for mobilization of the broader mobilization of the Hindutva community against opposition. If so, in that way, that is going to be privileged to BJP. Reservation argument by Mohan Bhagwat is going to help BJP to counter opposition argument to prove BJP as anti-social justice, anti-Pichra and Dalit. So in that way, both are going to create electoral capital for BJP in coming elections. But it depends how BJP is going to use these arguments in electoral discourses.
Significant, this statement which has been made by, in fact, Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief. We were discussing the impact that it can have on the political scenario of the country. Thank you so much, Professor Badri, for joining us at this moment.